Hi, I'm Mary, a librarian and book reviewer with a focus on stories written for kids, tweens, and teens. Today, I get to share with you this book called Shadow Status, written by River K. Scott. This is the story of 16-year-old Jaffrey, who, unbeknownst to pretty much everyone except for his family, is not like those around him. So instead of being a reset, who is someone who basically has their whole life ahead of them, he's actually a pro-set because of an unfortunate roll of the genetic dice. And that means that he could trigger at any time and his life would be over. So, as he's going through his daily experience, he knows that it could very well be his last at any given point. But he dreams of being a watcher, someone who goes into the net and clears it up of all of the riffraff that they might find in there. So he does everything he can to stand out with his class. He's the top of his class. He does everything right. But as some things are starting to happen with the areas in the earth that have taken over since the Great Pandemic, he is finding that maybe the line between AI and humanity is not as rigid as he once thought, and that the question between who's right and who's wrong maybe isn't easy to figure out. This story is great for fans of science fiction, especially stories like The Matrix and The Hunger Games, Ender's Game, so ones where you are involved in a story that is taking place kind of in a virtual world. So you're kind of plugged in to this virtual space, and then you also spend time in reality. So if you have some thoughts about what that might be like, this is a really interesting exploration of one character's experience in such a space. And then also talking about sentient AI and what that might look like inside of a computer system, making friends with them, building relationships around that as well. So, as you can imagine, there is a lot of backstory that's involved in the foundation of this book. So, that does take a little while to get established. But once it does, then there's a lot of action, a lot of mystery, and the pages keep turning as you try and figure out exactly what is happening in this character's world and whether he might make it to the end of the book or not. So this story is great for young adult readers, especially ones who are okay with longer text. So there's quite a lot of text in here. It's pretty small, and the book itself is pretty thick. So, readers who are into longer books and are into diving into a world that needs to kind of be built around them, this is a good fit for that. And it's a story that will have you thinking about what might happen in the future, especially as this takes place a little bit over 1,000 years in the future. So what humanity might look like and what the choices humanity makes might mean to their future. If this sounds like a great fit for you, I hope you look for it at your favorite bookstore.